Flight boss, bitch, you know, for sure. You're now listening to the Mind of Terry's Moon. I'm the Archangel Uriel, and I'm here to carry out God duties and motherfucking responsibilities. And right now I want to talk about, now this is the original video I was going to make today, when I finally got the energy. The fastest way to death. Now, this is going to explain why certain animals run out in front of cars, certain humans kill themselves, certain people under certain depressions and stuff like that. This is going to explain a lot of that, because I don't think humans understand the actual concept of death. And then when they drive themselves or let another being use them as a vessel to drive themselves to death, they be up under, when they die, their three forms is up under so many programs and constructs that I feel bad. And I hate to witness that on earth. And I ain't for that shit. You know what I'm saying? So, we're going to get that all rectified right now. The fastest way to death. Now, before we get into anything, I want to say, never give up. Never give up. But you might think that's this simple. See, it's not as simple as you think, but it may be a little bit more simpler than you ever thought of before. Now, when I say never give up, I always like to go back to these three realms, because I need to beat this in your head, because I don't want people to think that this is just another concept that I came up with and because it's a better way of explaining things. No, this is the true concept. So I want to put that down in the books. This is the true concept. You have three forms. In two, we all come as one and become that one form and be in a whole nother realm of reality. We're going to have to talk about it like this. You feel me? You have three forms. Until you understand and believe that, I don't care what religion, whatever program, whatever atheist, whatever you into, until you understand you have three forms, you would never get anything. You would never get it. You would never get it. You would never get it. Now, these three forms, when I say never give up, each of these three forms have the ability to give up. And each of these three forms have the ability to be taken over by beings that's just in one of these forms. You have beings that's just dying to experience. You have beings, listen, you might think there's a time that you're going to ascend, right? And you're going to be a being that could be from one place and you could feel to be in another place the moment, and then you actually be there, right? I was there. I experienced that, right? Okay, that's not fun for forever. You know what I'm saying? You're going to want to experience some type of density again. And this is what I'm trying to let you humans understand, so you can kind of clear away the fear of death. You have to understand that death isn't how you look at it. Yeah, you could want to go to heaven, but eventually heaven is going to turn into hell, right? And then you're going to want to go to hell, but after a while, hell is going to eventually turn into heaven. Now, I can break that down. Why it's like that. That's another video. But right now, I'm just going to, see, the whole point is for you to ascend, not to experience. See, you wanted to experience, but you're in the time, you're in the realm of experiencing right now. So now the game is on. Now it's what you're going to experience. And ascending is actually getting to a higher level in all true being, in all three forms. See, but you can't get there because it's your spirit, look, it's like this. Say this is an ocean pool, right? Your spirit might be right here, right? Your soul might be right here. And your body might be way down here. And it's all vice versa. You got people whose bodies is up here on the totem scale. Their soul is down here on the totem scale, and their spirit is way down here on the totem scale. Now, you like, what are you talking about? Now, this is what I'm talking about by that. Now, how a person yang, how they physical, the three realms, right? The conscious, subconscious, and the unconscious. The unconscious is the spirit, the gas, the frequency of that, the space. You know what I'm saying? The yang is the conscious, the solid. You know what I'm saying? The light body, the physical body, the matter. You know what I'm saying? Your soul is the subconscious, your fluid, your feelings, your thoughts. Not your thoughts, but your feelings and emotions. Your thoughts is more your gas. The emotions and feelings you put behind them, that's your soul. The expression behind it, who you really are. You feel me? Your moon sign is who you really are. So check it out. This is how you separate it. Now, hold on. There's a flat piece of paper, flat piece of book right here. Now look, say this is the whole totem scale of reality. Now there's many different realms of realities. There's 9 dimensions, and there's so many realms of realities within these 9 dimensions. You're gonna have beings in the 9th dimension trying to attack people in the 3rd dimension, and that's another video. Check it out. Now in this whole spectrum, right? Your physical, you have 3 beings. And they're all on separate time wavelengths and frequencies, right? And the whole key is to get them all aligned together. That's the key. So look, you have some people on Earth where they're spiritually high, but they're physically low. You know what I'm saying? And then their souls is wandering around in the middle. Look, I don't want to look. This camera about to die. Let me go get the charger because this is a very important video right here. A very important video. I apologize, but yeah, I gotta do this. I gotta plug in shit, and I gotta make sure this is being charged because I don't want this video cutting off, and I don't want nobody fucking shit up with false information through my videos due to silenceness and shit and re-uploading and shit like that. All that shit counts. Everything counts. Don't ever think it don't. Cause you don't. If you think it don't, then your ass be getting attacked for no reason. Just because you consciously dead. Alright, now, we in business now. We in motherfucking business. Let me plug this up on the camera. Alright. Alright, Charlemagne, we live? Alright, now, like I was saying, say this is like the, right? And you have people who may be spiritually high, physically low. Like right now, I may be physically low, but my physical body is becoming so light, it's gonna, the information my spirit been transitioning down to my body, and my soul been transitioning down to my body, is trying to get me up out of this shit with it. But look, check this out. This is what I want to say. Alright, now say this is the whole consciousness realm, right? Now you have people who physical body may be up here, and their spirit may be down here, and their soul may be down here. Now what do you mean by that, right? Now they may be experiencing physical prosperity here on earth, because sometime in a past lifetime they made their body so light that their body had risen. They may have been something nutritious, whatever like that, right? But reason why I say they spirit down here, because these be evil people. Like they getting all this money, they receiving all this prosperity, but they so negative to people. They don't care about other people's ideas. They don't care about other people's concepts. See, that lets you know they body up here, but they spirit low. And then if they don't give a fuck about you, they don't feel no type of way about you, they're not emotionally connected to you, then they soul low too. Then look, you have people whose soul may be high on this realm of reality, right? But they body may be they physical yang, they conscious may be low, and then their spirit may be somewhere wandering. So these are people who got overly compassion for everybody. They feel so much remorse for everybody, right? But they let everybody take advantage of their physical, because they physical down here. They let everybody beat them up. Let everybody take advantage of them, whatever like that, right? And then their spirit just wandering like, damn, what the fuck going on? When are we gonna get connected? You feel me? Then you have some people whose spirit is up here, right? But then their soul down here and their body down here. So they got all these great ideas and shit like that, right? But they can't never see them in existence physically, because they body so low down here. So you see what I'm saying? It's a map out concept that you need all three of these to come into alignment with each other. Now, the fastest way to death. This is the fastest way to death. I'm gonna make another video on this too. As soon as I get my left brain together, because I've been on this fuck left brain shit. Anytime somebody around you always trying to refute something you got or something like that, when your shit just be ideas, they don't necessarily be factual or anything like that. That's a left brain person. And what you need to do around them is be quiet. Throw a concept out there, but don't argue with them. Let them argue with themselves. Then you're gonna be able to develop all the science you need behind the left brain mannerisms. Then you're going to be able to logically take your left brain and place it in your right brain motives and come up with constructed concepts in which you already seen, but you couldn't explain it because it was in the yin realm, it was in the subconscious realm, it was in your soul realm. So when this left being person come back around you, they not gonna like you, but they're not gonna understand why they can't stop being around you, because they're gonna try to learn something that they don't get. See, that's the key. But look, when you wanna the fastest way to death, right, is canceling out one of the other. You need all three of these. If you're gonna have an idea, put some emotional and feelings behind it and start to will it in existence. Now, where humans fall short is the kind of emotions and feelings that they're channeling. Remember that channel video? Yeah, you could be channeling the wrong channels to the point that you're not seeing the right programs and shows for that actual paradigm one of your forms could be in. Which, as far as if we talk about your soul, we want to make sure your soul is watching the right shows and programs. But if it's not being channeled, if it's not on the right channel, then your soul is going to be picking up a bunch of other shit. The same way in the physical. You want to make sure you're watching the right television programs, the right actual TV shows, listening to the right people, retaining the right information, filtering out the wrong information. Spiritually, you want to make sure you're around like-minded people. You want to make sure you're around people who have like-minded ideas, people who can appreciate your ideas, and you could be amongst others that you could appreciate their ideas and come up with concepts together and come up with a firmament together. You know what I'm saying? Now, here's the fastest way to death. Remember when I was just talking about a little earlier in this video that there's going to be beings that been separate from themselves, and they're trying to get back, and you have certain beings that's just in the spirit realm. They can't even find their soul no more. You have certain physical beings can't even find their soul no more. These are the people who don't give a fuck about shit. They ain't got no lack of compassion or whatever like that, and it end up being manifested to these people doing something that they end up in jail and end up in certain shit like that. Let's do this. Now, you have certain beings that just in the soul realm. They just attack people's emotions and feelings. Now, these beings that have been separate from themselves, sometimes on their path, it takes them to use other beings as vessels. And not just humans, other beings that's in their same realm. You got some spiritual beings that's more powerful than another spiritual being that take over that spiritual being just because that spiritual being have a connection to a family lineage on the yang realm, or the 3D density realm, and or the soul realm, the subconscious realm. You know what I'm saying? So it's deep. I done seen this shit millions of times, and I'm interacting with this shit every day and making myself physical. I done made myself weakened, but at the same time, I'm here for y'all. Now, you're going to have a lot of these beings that just want to kill to experience all three in one. And you being a human, you are that much closer to ascension than they are. They done fell short millions of times. You have too. But for you to be a human right now, you have did some level of ascension or descending. But regardless, you're able to have a physical space ship to will in your magician, your magic. You feel me? So when we want to talk about ideas, when I said never give up, now in these three forms, right? Let's start with the space realm, the gas realm, the spirit realm. Your ideas, your thoughts, what you attract from the wholeness, right? Never stop having ideas. Never stop having thoughts. Never stop having concepts in your head. Never just think of one thing and think, okay, it's that way, and just forget about it. Always add. Your spirit need density in order to become a feeling and emotional, and in order to become, that's the only thing you need to keep adding. Because what happens here is, see, it's a less and add. Lesser, it's an addition and subtraction. That's real things, not just with math. And you have to do that constantly in your life to stay balanced and to become one, so you can ascend as one. Now, check this out. as far as ideas, thoughts. Never stop having them. Never quit adding density to it. Never keep adding to your ideas and thoughts. You know why? Because the moment you stop having ideas, the moment you just give up, like, oh fuck it, I don't care what people think. I don't care how I think. I'm gonna just do shit how I do it, whatever. Right? It's nothing there. It's a void. It's a void of space. And anytime there's a void of space, it gets filled in. So what you call in space as a human isn't technically space. It's just space is another term for what you don't understand. That's whatever's filling in was filling in, right? So once you leave void and space of idea, you leave opportunity for a motherfucking being to come, a spirit being at that. This is one of the most powerful ones because they dictate your mind. They fuck up your mind. They fuck up your thoughts. They fuck up your attitude. And yo yang and yin is the closest you got to working with. You automatically detach from your spirit, but you part of your spirit. You are your spirit, but your spirit is connected to the wholeness. You only interact with your yang and your yin on a sex day-to-day basis. Your spirit gives you the idea to do that. You are a space within a space. You are a spirit within a spirit. You are a gas within a gas, asshole. So listen. So when you give up your ideas, give up your thoughts, you're giving up your space. So you're gonna let this fucking vessel, this motherfucking being come and think for you. And a lot of times you got lesser ones that come through other people or come through but the powerful ones, they just come through you spiritually, and they make you think that you ain't spiritual, and they make you think that you're stupid for thinking good ideas or whatever idea that you had in your head. And you go to a doctor believing that you got ADHD or something. They gave you that idea for you to think about. No, fuck that. This is a spiritual being taking over your mind, taking over your thoughts, and it's gonna make you start to think things the way it wanna think, the way it wanna do things, right? And then you're gonna start thinking to yourself like, why the fuck I think like this? You possessed. Yes, you're possessed. You're spiritually possessed when you're dumbfounded. Not enough knowledge, not enough wisdom, too stupid to understand and listen, too dumb to conversate, think you know it all. You're giving up the concept of idea. When you give up the concept of idea, you're giving up your spirit. That's your spirit. That's your space. Spirit beings is one of the most powerful beings if they're separated from themselves. So they will use you like they are you because they're able to use your yin and yang, your left and right motherfucking brain. So be careful. Always keep your space filled in. And how you keep your space filled in is keeping ideas, keeping concepts, keeping your thoughts, keeping happy thoughts, even negative thoughts. It doesn't matter. I don't like because have negative beings, but as long as you keep something, you're gonna have to have some type of spiritual system. And a spiritual system is nothing else other than a thought. So be careful who you taking thoughts from. Now, let's get to the soul. This is another fastest way to death. Now your subconscious, how you feel, your emotions. Never stop feeling. Never stop being emotional. Now, you're going to be emotional feeling regardless, whether you like it or not. You know what I'm saying? But never get to a point where you stop loving just because what you've been experienced or what kind of energy people gave you. Never come to the conclusion where you feel like you need to stop loving. Never come to the conclusion where you feel like you need to stop hating. See, that's a balance. That's a whole nother video. Right now, I'm just talking about the simple concept of keeping things in flow. Never come to know when to wash your hands, know when to not feel, know when to not be emotionalized, but know when to let it back in. Don't have a program around it that, okay, since this was done to me, I need to make sure I always do this to others. That's wrong. It's all about wisdom. So when you start to deal, like that's why I did the spirit first, because when we start to deal with these physicals, this yang and yin, it start to get tricky. Now, when you dealing with the soul, your subconscious, right? Like, never stop feeling and never stop being emotional. But see, that adds weight, that adds density. Remember, it's a few concepts that religion do got right. They say when the day of judgment, you're gonna be judged. Your heart gonna be judged as light as the feather. So if your heart way heavier than the feather, then that means you have to experience again. Now that concept is wrong, but it's truth to that. Your heart is the physical manifestation of your soul. Your blood, all the fluids within you, all the fluids without you is the physical manifestation of the soul. You know what I'm saying? All the space, air, and room of opportunity and fire and heat and all that shit, that's the physical representation of the space, the gas, the air. You know what I'm saying? That's the physical representation of it. You know what I'm saying? All the things you can touch, feel, and the space in between it, that's the physical representation of the spirit. But when you actually get to one space to the other space and be able to touch it or whatever like that, that's the physical representation of the solid. You know what I'm saying? We have to come up with new names in science. But when we get to the soul, right, the subconscious, we know when you add, that adds density, so that wears it down. So we know if you carrying too much when you die, it's not going to be light as that feather. You know, your heart not going to be light as that feather. But that concept, the concept of how they trying to make you picture it is wrong. But the actual energy of it itself is right. Your heart has to be light. So you have to subtract and add when we start to get to the yin and the yang bodies, the left brain and the right brain bodies. See, the spirit realm is a little bit more fluidly because it's space and room, and you always going to have the space, room, and opportunity to come up with ideas. So it's your choice if you do and you don't. You know what I'm saying? But if you've been took over and being possessed, I'm here to help you. Ever did something that you didn't realize you done? Now, when we want to talk about the soul, now like we said, it's tricky. The add and subtraction, you have to apply this. See, it's deeper than math. Math don't even really exist. Math is something that humans is trying to construct out of something we're already in. So basically, when you want to add, now we have to look at what's light in this realm and what's heavy in this realm. Love and positivity is light in this realm, but it can be reversed and transmitted into negative energy and become heavy. Now, negative and that can be heavy, but it can be transpired into positive energy. This is why I said it's tricky. For an example, now when you have a negative person around you 24/7, the only way you're going to get to a positive conclusion of that situation is being negative or negatively removing that person from your life. So that's a negative energy being transmuted into positive. So and vice versa. You can have someone positive around you, but be so negative towards them that they get away from you. Now you don't have that same energy around you anymore, and now you see yourself experiencing shit that you didn't really want to experience. So that's the positive being transmitted into negative. So what happens here is learning how to balance that out is how you keep your soul floating. That's just like back on I made the